In this video, we're going to discuss how to add our text to our title block here. We made our title block in the last lab, and we notice it is a block. So if you click the whole thing, it is all highlighted. So we want to make our text not necessarily part of the block because we may want to modify some of the text. The block itself is set, and we don't want to change any of the details in the block, but we would like to change maybe some of the data that we're going to put into it, such as the drawn by. So we want our data and our name to be centered in our block and arranged neatly when we do this. So we're going to add some construction lines. So let's go to our construction layer, and then we're going to start with a line. Now our block is 0.5 inches tall, so it's a half an inch from one side to the other. And our text is 0.25, so that is half of this. So we want a eighth of an inch, so a 0.25 is a quarter of an inch. So we want the eighth of an inch gap from the top to the top of our text and from the bottom to the bottom of our text. We want our text to start just a little after our drawn by. So we're going to draw us a construction line from, and I missed the spot, we're going to draw a construction line from the end point of this line. And we're going to come over here to where it's about the end of our drawn by. And this point can be a little ambiguous depending on how big your name is. You might want to need more space or less space. So I'm going to let you choose how far over you want to come. I'm just going to come over a 1.5 to make it somewhere close here. But then I want to come down the 0.125, and that is an eighth of an inch. And that is going to be our construction line. That is going to be where our texts start. So I'm going to escape out of that, and then I'm going to go to our text layer. So click on the text layer so it'll be the proper line size and in the proper spot. We'll just click on the end point of that line we just made, and we'll click on the end point of our box. And then we'll just type in our name. And I do want it to be in all caps, and I can even spell my name. We do want it to be in all caps. Whenever we draw in AutoCAD, we're going to use all caps. And then we'll just click off. So now our name is centered in our box. Now, this next line, the check by, is a little farther over. So we want to bring this over a little bit. We can just take the same thing and move it down here, but I want to go back to the construction line. And then we're going to add all of our construction lines now. So I want to draw a line and from the end point here, and we're going to come over this one about maybe 1.75 or something, just so that we can be a little farther over. And then we're going to come down again our 1.25, and that will be where we start that text. And then we'll do the same thing down here with our date. We'll come over maybe this one, we might come over a full 2 inches, and then go down a 0.25, which is our eighth of an inch. And then, so I want you to go ahead and do the same thing for all of these. So then when you add your text, you have to go back to your text layer and put your text here. The title box will be just a little different because it is a little bigger. We're still going to use the same size text, but we're just going to put it down below it a little bit. So we're going to go stay in our construction line. We're going to add a construction line. We have to go from the top. Because that's where our text comes from. So we're going to go from our midpoint, and we're only going to go over 0.5. Then we're going to come down and make sure we're going straight down and 0.5. And then this will be where we add our text to this. And again, we'll go back to our text layer and add our text. And then we'll come from the end point of our line there and come down to here. And this is where we'll add our drawing title. Now, I want you to go ahead and finish the rest of these. When you get all these in there, and you will not need the dimensions lines. I just put them in there to show you where they are. I would like for you to delete all of your construction lines. because what I want you to do is we're going to use this data whenever we connect it from one point to the other. So go ahead and delete all your construction lines. And then you can say that you put this in your block. But whenever we want to go to another one, if you just select from the top, and you have to go from the top down again, so it won't select all. But you can select all your data in here and just hit copy, and then you can paste that into another drawing if you would like. If you hit paste, and you can put your data into there. Now this is a metric one. The next video will show you how to take this data and make it work in your metric drawing.